Guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for another retro Royal Rumble match recap and review. The 22nd Royal Rumble match out of 30 as we are getting near towards the end. And of course, for me, continuing to get back into more familiar territory since most of these upcoming Rumbles, despite not watching them when they first happened, I'm a little more familiar with. So today we're going to talk about the 2009 Royal Rumble match. This match was kind of average. I mean, it didn't really have like that big, spark in it, that big excitement. I mean, a heel won the match. The first time in quite some time, actually, that a heel won the Royal Rumble match. Um, but to me, it just didn't feel like it was that dramatic of a match. Like nothing really happened. I mean, the main storyline going in here was, Randy Orton was just destined to get to the WWE Championship and doing whatever he has to do, and even when, as far as feuding with the McMahons and making Triple H's life miserable, this is where he also teamed up with Legacy and whatnot. But other than that, I mean, nothing really would happen in this match. It was just 15 guys were in there at once, it seemed like, and just like there wasn't really any big breakout star in this match. I mean, don't get me wrong, Randy Orton had a good showing in the match. Well, for the most part, I mean, he was mainly. This is where he was at his best as a heel with, Legacy doing his dirty work and Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. But other than that, nothing really happened in this Rumble. Kind of boring, but average. I give it an average grade. Took place on January 25th, 2009 at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan. And the stipulation was the number one contendership as well. The winner gets to pick which title they will fight for at Wrestlemania 25. So without further ado, let's get right into it. From Raw, our number one entrant was Rey Mysterio, who started off at number one, and they mentioned how he started off at number two in the 2006 Royal Rumble match and won it all, lasting 62 minutes, which I believe is, at the time was the longest time ever in a Royal Rumble match. I believe that still is the case today, if I'm not mistaken. This came out at number one. Number two was John Morrison, who was still tag champions with The Miz. He was on ECW, though. He came out number two, again, as a heel. John Morrison was a great athlete. Stuff I've seen him from the past. I really wish he would have gotten a world title push as well, but that didn't happen. But it gave some good things for Lucha Underground right now. So they start off. Number three was Carlito, who is now on SmackDown. Number four was MVP, was on SmackDown. I believe this is the time where MVP was. I read he was on having a losing streak gimmick, so he became more of a babyface around this time. Number four, also from SmackDown. Number five, actually, the next several superstars from SmackDown. Number five is the Great Khali. Yay, he's a babyface, but who cares? Number six from SmackDown was Vladimir Kozlov, who, like Red Yet 2008, was in the world title feud with Triple H, but that's the only time he felt really relevant. Other than that, he was tag champions with Santino Marella when he turned him face, but I don't know, seeing Vladimir Kozlov, him as a babyface, didn't seem like it would have worked at all, and the Moscow Mauler never really got over that well. He only lasted until like 2011. He was released after just jobbing. The funny thing also about Vladimir Kozlov, first time I heard his theme music, they go, it sounded like they're saying at the beginning, yeah, bring your stupid bull. Yeah, bring your stupid bull or something like that. It sounded ridiculous. I do like his the Titantron though for his theme music when he was a heel and as a baby face. It looks so childish. Especially, I didn't even watch it, but I saw that him and Santino Morella had a tea party. No, but he came in. He had this since he was getting a little bit of a main event push. When he came in, he did have a little bit of dominating performance, well, briefly until he got eliminated shortly thereafter. He eliminated Great Khali, who looked like the Great Khali literally like he leaned over and braced himself for Kozlov to eliminate him. That was terrible. Kozlov also eliminated MVP and Carlito. And then Triple H would come in at number 7. He was on SmackDown this time also. And Triple H and Kozlov were still kind of feuding, so he eliminated Kozlov. And then we didn't get an elimination for a while, as the next several superstars were from Raw, with number 8 being Randy Orton, number 9 being, Crime Time came out, they flipped a coin, and JTG won it, so he came out number 9, also on Raw. Number 10 was the second member of Legacy. Well, Orton was the first member. Then there was Ted DiBiase Jr., number 10. Number 11 was Chris Jericho. Number 12 Mike Knox. Number 13 from ECW was The Miz, who was tag champions with John Morrison at this time. I believe they do split up this year as well, and Miz starts his singles career. Well, so is John Morrison also. The Miz and Morrison will get eliminated though by Triple H at the same time, and then when this happened, Rey Mysterio had a nice spot where he got thrown out at first, but he landed on top of Miz and Morrison. He just walks on top of them and gets her back in the ring, and he's still safe in this match. So that saved him. Number 14 was Finlay, who was in ECW. I believe this year or next year was his last Royal Rumble. He came out number 14. Of course, he came out to Hornswoggle's music because he's his real daddy. Number 15 was Cody Rhodes. Of course, he was on Raw. He was part of Legacy at this time. Number 16 from SmackDown was The Undertaker. He came out. He eliminated JTG. Number 17 from Raw was Goldust. He came out. Of course, Randy Orton ordered Cody Rhodes to eliminate his brother, which he did so pretty quickly. Number 18 was CM Punk, who is now on Raw. He was no longer in ECW, and I believe he was the Intercontinental Champion also at this time. Number 19 was Mark Henry, who was on the ECW brand. I believe that he got a run in 2008 with the ECW Championship. I think he did. I can't remember, though. Number 20 was Shelton Benjamin, who was on SmackDown now that he was on ECW for the past two Rumbles. Number 21 was William Regal, who was on Raw at this time. That's when Rey Mysterio, though, would eliminate Mark Henry also. Little man eliminated the world's strongest man. Again, Mark Henry only had 2 eliminations. They say every year he's always my favorite to win, but when you look at it, Mark Henry, no offense, sucked in Royal Rumbles. No offense, but he only made 2 guys in his first Royal Rumble, and that was it. That was short-lived. Number 22 for the first time appearing in the Rumble from Raw also was Kofi Kingston. He came out and he would eliminate Shelton Benjamin. Number 23 was Kane, who is now on Raw. And then Punk would eliminate Regal. Number 24 from SmackDown was R-Truth. Number 25, now he's considered a legend because this was just a one-off thing, but probably they more so had him appear in this Rumble because he was from the Michigan area. RVD, but he was not on the active roster at the time. So he came out at number 25. He was a surprise entrant. Number 26 was SmackDown, and currently in the Cruiserweight division now is the Brian Kendrick, who I believe him and Paul London were a tag team. 2008 also, well, this probably wasn't too long. Well, that's right, sorry, 2009. This was the year also where, if you remember from Daniel Bryan's documentary, he talks about how when he was trying to, he was given him one more year to get into the WWE, even though he was happy with just being on the independents and whatnot, but he was about taking that next step again to WWE, but he was giving himself one more year to get in. If he didn't, he was going to keep wrestling, but he was going to start focusing on his life after wrestling. And then the Brian Kendrick was looking for the tag team partner, and it was going to be Daniel Bryan first, but then Bryan got fired. Then when Daniel Bryan came in with NXT after they dropped ECW shortly after the Royal Rumble in 2010, I believe was when they dropped the WWE ECW brand. But the Brian Kendrick came in number 26. He would eliminate Kofi Kingston, but Triple H would immediately eliminate Kendrick afterwards. He didn't last long. Number 27 from Raw. Hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler. That's when Dolph Ziggler had that gimmick when he first came in, just saying, like, hi, I'm Dolph. He came in, only lasted 21 seconds. He goes to shake Kane's hand. Kane just grabs him and just throws him out in like 21 seconds. Number 28, the classic elimination. Santino Marella, the king of the unibrow. He comes up, walks in, Kane eliminates him in 1 second, breaking Warlord's record for the shortest time in the Royal Rumble match. As he's on one knee going, I wasn't ready. Doesn't matter though, Santino is out. He now sets the record. I believe that it still is the record today for the shortest time in the Royal Rumble match at 1 second. Number 29 was also another surprise entrant, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who won the first ever Royal Rumble match. And number 30 from SmackDown was The Big Show, who was a heel, of course, at this time. But we had, let me see here, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 people still in the match. not much really happened in this match. Again, we just had this a big cluster of people, and they're always at the same time. So we would have Big Show eliminate Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He would also eliminate R-Truth, then CM Punk, and then he would eliminate Mysterio and Knox. And then Kane would eliminate Finlay. What's that starting to sound like? Big Show and Kane eliminate people again. We'll rant about that in the 2015 Royal Rumble. But then Jericho will eliminate RVD. Undertaker will then eliminate Jericho after a sick looking, because I think Jericho hit a code breaker on the Undertaker, but then the Undertaker was just stunned and he followed up and did a backdrop on Jericho to eliminate him, I believe it was. But then the Legacy would team up and eliminate Kane, and then Orton hit an RKO on Big Show, causing him to be stunned and get taken out by Orton. But as he's being taken out, he also grabs onto Undertaker from the outside, and he pulls out Undertaker too. I believe these two did have a feud. I thought they were feuding at the end of 2008, I think. I can't remember. I think it was 2008, because I remember, I think Taker and Big Show faced off like a casket match or something like that. At like Unforgiven, I think it was. But the final four was Triple H and all three members of Legacy. Pretty much, set up for what the eventual WrestleMania main event would be. But then Triple H would just easily take out DiBiase, and then Cody Rhodes would then, off the distraction, taking them out. Orton snuck behind and eliminated him, and Orton won the Royal Rumble match. Yeah, again, like nothing really to say. This is just a very average Raw. It just didn't feel that dramatic at all. Legacy and Orton just dominated most of the time. Like they were like the main team to pretty much watch for the most part. Well, Big Show also had dominated too, but Triple H did well also. But not really any new star established in this match. Yeah, not really much really to say about this Rumble. So let's get into the times and the statistics and whatnot for this. We have Rey Mysterio from Raw, 49-24, one elimination. John Morrison from ECW, 1934, no eliminations. For the next several from SmackDown, Carlito, 611, no eliminations. MVP, 352, no eliminations. Great Khali, a minute 30, no eliminations. Vladimir Kozlov, 243 eliminations. Triple H, 50 minutes. Literally 50 minutes on the dot, 6 eliminations. From Raw, for next several, we have Randy Orton, 48-27, 3 eliminations. JTG, 11:59 eliminations. Ted DiBiase Jr., 45-11, 1 elimination. Chris Jericho, 37-17, 1 elimination. Mike Knox, 32-42 eliminations. Why the heck was he in there that long? Miz from ECW, minute 20, no eliminations. Finlay, ECW, 29-59, no eliminations. Cody Rhodes, Raw, 37-01, 2 eliminations. Undertaker from SmackDown, 32-29, 3 eliminations. Goldust, a minute 11, no eliminations. CM Punk from Raw, 22-29, 1 elimination. Mark Henry, ECW, 3-14, no eliminations, of course. Shelton Benjamin from SmackDown, 4-17, no eliminations. William Regal, Raw, 4-23, no eliminations. Kofi Kingston, Raw, 6-58, no eliminations. Kane, 18-21, 3 eliminations. He was on Raw. R-Truth, SmackDown, 12-06, no eliminations. RVD, Legend, 13-56, no eliminations. The Brian Kendrick, SmackDown, 15 seconds, 1 elimination. Dolph Ziggler, 21 seconds, no eliminations. Hi, I'm Dolph. Santino Marella, 1 second, no elimination. I wasn't ready! Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Legend, 250, no eliminations. And Big Show, 932, 6 eliminations for him as he came in and wreaked havoc since he was a heel. So again, the winner was Randy Orton. The longest time was Triple H at 50 minutes. The most eliminations was a tie between Triple H and Big Show with 6 apiece. And the total duration of this match is 58 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, just an average Rumble. Nothing really happened. I'll give it a C. What are your thoughts on the 2009 Royal Rumble match? Leave your thoughts out in the comment section below. And be sure to always click the like and subscribe on this channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. Tomorrow, I probably will not be able to do any Rumble reviews, or I don't know if I'll get to do any Shabs 2000, because I'm going to be out with family watching the Steeler game. So go with the Steelers. Let's go Pittsburgh. So yeah, if anybody else is out there watching, rooting for Jacksonville or any other teams that are still in the football playoffs, I'm not a big football fan, but good luck to your teams as well. Hopefully you guys get good runs in this playoffs. But that is it, guys. I'm checking out, and until then, have a great night.